Hello guys, we are in the directing chapter. So we are in the subtopic called as the elements of direction. So basically in this elements of direction there are four subpoints, that is supervising, motivating, leadership and communication, SMLC. Supervision, motivation, leadership, communication. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. And in this video only I have concentrated on supervision and motivation. So the first one is supervision. So the first meaning of supervision is it implies overseeing the work of subordinates by their superior. It is the act of watching and directing work and workers. Supervision is an element of directing. It involves the process of directing, guiding, motivating efforts of employees and other aspects to be accomplished of the objectives. Okay, so basically I have written very small. You cannot see in the video, but whatever I am speaking, it is coming in edits. So this space I have left for explanation. Let me explain here. Aware that this is the organization level chart, that is Kellerchen-Whittle. The other name is organization chart. In this organization chart, we have classified into top level of management, middle level of management and lower level of management. Okay, here in top level of management, or you are aware that it includes CEO, Chief Executive Officer, Chief Finance Officer, Executive Director, Directors, Board of Directors, BOD and all other chairmans. Okay, planning committee is here. Now from top level is an administration block. From top level the middle level comes. Middle level all managers. Okay, as per the syllabus it is managers. Now from managers it comes to lower level, that is staff and other workforce in an organization. So my point is clear that in top level of management all the executive directors, board of directors, chairmen and all. In middle level of management it includes managers, and whereas the lower level of management it includes the staff and the other forces of the other workforce of the organization. So now after keeping this chart in your mind, come to the statement, the meaning of supervision. It implies overseeing the work of subordinates. It implies overseeing the work of subordinates means middle level of management involves in seeing the subordinates level of work by their superior. By the superior means middle level of management. This middle level of management are being overseen, are being watched by the top level of management, are being supervised by the top level of management. It is act of watching and directing work and workers. So middle level management work is to watch the workers effectively and efficiently, whether they are doing the assigned work properly or not. Supervision is an element of directing. The supervision is the work of the manager. It is a work. It is an element of directing. Direction. It is a work of directing. It involves the process of directing, guiding, motivating efforts of employees and other aspects to accomplish the objectives. So this element is been, supervision element is been involved in guiding, motivating, guiding the lower level of management, that is the ultimate staff, directing them how to complete the goals, how to accomplish the goals successfully, motivating if they are lagging somewhere. Motivation plays an important role here. Efforts of the employees and other aspects to accomplish the end objectives. Whatever the commitments of an organization is there are ultimately fulfilled by the lower level of management, that is the staff. So now I have given the importance of this supervision. Now what are the importance of this supervision? The first one is link between workers and management. So now, as I said here, now you might be aware that you are in top level of management, all CEO, CFO, board of directors, chairmen. Again I am repeating, By heart it. It is for your lifetime, you have to remember this. Middle level of management is including managers, lower level of management, staff, and other forces of and other workforce of an organization. Okay, link between workers and management. Link between workers and management means middle level of management is a link between the worker in the lower level of management, lower level of organization, and the top level. So why means the supervisor explains management policies to workers. Now the management other word is administration. Okay. The supervisor means here middle level of manager. Middle level of management means it involves the managers. The manager explains the management or the administration, the policies to the workers and brings workers' grievances to the management. So from top level of management, what and all orders, policies, rules, regulations and all they are being received by the middle level of managers, and they are being passed to the lower level of manager, lower level of the organization. So now if any grievances, any complaints, any feedbacks are there from the lower level of organization, from the worker side, again they have to approach to the middle level of management, and then the middle level of management takes to the top level of management, and the decision is being finalized, and they are being initiated, they are being informed. So this is from this point of view, from my talks, what you can understand one point clearly is it is a continuous process and it is a lengthy process. It is time involving. Okay, this also you can add the point here, but the syllabus has not been prescribed for that such points. So the second point is ensures issue of instructions, to make sure that the instructions are communicated to each and every employee. So what orders, what rules, regulations, what and all memos they are received by the top level of from the top level of management to the middle level of management, that has to go to the lower level of management, and they have to see that each and every person in the lower level of organization have received the command or the order. The third one is facilitates control. Facilitate control means match between actual and planned output. It ensures checking on the methods in use of the progress of work according to the planned schedule. So this controlling is only a separate topic. So I'll be stretching there more. I'll be explaining in brief what it is. So in this, the point facilitate control means, now example in an manufacturing unit, they have planned to produce 100 units of some product, but they are only produced 80. Now in that 80 the deviation is 20. To develop the 20 products, what resources, what techniques, what methods can be applied? How could they have produced the 20 products? That they would put the estimate and they would develop for the next for in future orders. So that facilitate control, that meaning I like to tell. Then the fourth one is maintenance of discipline. Strict supervision and the guidance of supervisor encourage the employee and workers to be more disciplined in the activities. So the middle level of management work is not only to pass the orders, to pass the commands, or to just see how the work is being carried by the lower level of an organization. Its work is to be keep a vigil on the discipline and the moral character of the lower level of organization. So in lower level of organization, there are many people working to avoid the conflicts, to avoid some disturbance and unorderliness in the organization. So they have to be strict, and the supervision and the guidance of the supervisor encourage the employees and the workers to be more disciplined in the activities. So when there is a orderly situation in an organization, it helps them to achieve the targets on time effectively. Okay. Then the fifth one is feedback. The supervisors are directly dealing with the subordinates. The supervisors are the middle level of managers are directly dealing with the subordinates. Okay. Now the next point is As a result, feedback in form of suggestions, grievances keep coming to the management. As I said some minutes before that, the middle level of management, they are supervising, they are directing, they are dealing with the lower level of management, they are dealing with the top level of management also. They are like the in the middle level, managers are involved with the top level of management, they are in contact with top level of management also, they are in contact with the lower level of management also. So what rules, regulations, what memos they are receiving, they are passing to the lower level of management. So from here, lower level of management, if they are having any grievances, any issues within an organization limits in form of the complaints, grievances, keep to the manager, comes to the management. So this lower level of the management take the grievances to the middle level of management. The middle level of management that involves of manager take their applications, take their grievances to the top level of management. So this improves the quality, management decisions and policies, etc. So when it is a continuous function, it keeps coming and going. So when these decisions are taken, the decisions what are being made in an organization are accurate. Okay, then the sixth one is optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization of resources means all the activities are under the observation of supervisor, so less wastage and optimum utilization of resources is possible. So the middle level of management, again the manager is here to see the to see the underutilization of resources. So his main work is here to not to let the resources waste. So he tries to save. So there, even the lower level of workers, the staff gets a little bit aware that the manager is here, so not to waste the resources. So obviously the optimum utilization of resources is been happening. As the seventh one is improve motivation. The relationship between the supervisor is very good aspect to improve the motivation level of the employees. While guiding the employees, the supervisor encourages the subordinate to perform their best capacities. So the manager, so the top level of management is being motivating the middle level of management. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they are also the humans, even they require the motivation aspect. So when they are receiving the motivations, when they are receiving the motivation dose from the top level of management, they are again sharing that some motivations. They are sharing some kind of motivation by communication, by text, by some sort of communication they are doing, and they are motivating their ultimate manpower, the ultimate force of the organization, that is lower level of an organization, just to focus on the goals, just to focus on the commitments of an organization to perform that work effectively and efficiently. So now we are moving on to the motivation. So in motivation, now I'll rub this. In motivation, the meaning of motivation is it means inspiring, stimulating or encouraging the subordinates with zeal to work. Positive, negative, monetary, non-monetary incentives may be used for this purpose. So motivation is an important aspect. Now we are so much time is focused on supervision. Supervision means only visualizing the total organization of the lower level of the management, whereas the motivation, the lower level of organization, the workers requires motivation to complete the goals on time. So it means inspiring, stimulating or encouraging the subordinates with zeal to work. Zeal to work means towards the organizational commitments. So the basic three key aspects of the motivation is the motive, motivation and the motivator. So motive is the inner state that energizes, activates and direct behavior towards the goal. So motive is the what you expect from the person. So that is the motive. Motivation means process of stimulating people to action, depends on satisfaction needs of the people. Motive and motivation are similar kind of, but the motivation plays an important role here. Motivation is the process of stimulating the action. They give the examples of the other, they compare their actual performance with their other competitors or other person, and they give the example. So motivators technique used to motivate people. Motivation always happens between the humans, so it is a human element. So motivation happens on the basis of the advantages for the human at the end of the day, that includes the pay, bonus, promotion, recognition, social status, and the designation in an organization. So motivators are that one. Then the features of the motivation are, the first one is psychological phenomenon. Psychological phenomenon means the motivation cannot be forced into someone. It depends on the basis of the need, desire, aspiration, etc., which influence the other human behavior to be one among such. One example I used to give for this. Now suppose a sportsman, example cricketer. If he wants to be a batsman or a cricketer, if he wants to be a perfect in his sports, might be cricket or hockey or any of the sports, now his main motivation will be like players like Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, Rahul Dravid and all. So he be a craze for them. He sticks the pictures of them in his room. He always listen to their comments. He always focus on their strategies, what they have developed to be a successful person. So when many are seeing this video for UPSC purpose also, I guess. So when this in civil services and all, like IPS officers from your place, from your town where you are living, there and all, one good IPS officer, one IAS officer, one deputy commissioner, deputy collector will be there. So you want to be one officer like that, and IPS officer Kiran Bedi madam and all are very good motivators for this young generation. And if someone wants to be a scientist, they take an example of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. I want to be like APJ Abdul Kalam sir, so much contribution to the society and all. So these people are the motivation. So these people keeping their mind, keeping their words in their minds, they work continuously. The second one is goal-directed behavior. Goal-directed behavior means that you want to be such a cricketer, you want to be IPS officer, you want to be IAS officer, you want to be a scientist. So what you start working for that particular goal. Similarly, in organizations also, the more managers, once they motivate, they focus on the goals. So even this is not only required in an organization, it is pervasive, it is applicable anywhere, it is applicable in our own lives as well. So we have to apply in our own lives. We have to set an example for ourselves. Who is our good motivator? Like in my life, there are many IPS officers, which if I tell the names also, you might be unknown. So I am very much fond of them. So the third one is goal-directed. The second one, goal-directed behavior, is only it induces people to behave in such manner so that they can achieve their goals. A motivated person works towards the achievement of the desired goals. As I said, they work towards the goals until they won't rest peacefully until they achieve the target. So the third one is motivation can be positive or negative. More means inspiring people to work better, as appreciating work that is well done. So in an organization, if one of the colleagues does the work, one of the colleagues does effectively and efficiently the work, the manager will come and appreciate that one colleague in front of other 10-20 colleagues, and he gives them bonus, he gives him financial incentives and all. So like example, like pay increase, promotion, he might get promoted to the other designated post, recognition, his social value in an organization increases. So this is a positive motivation. So what is a negative motivation means? So negative motivation means forcing people to work, threatening or pushing them. Negative motivation means motivation includes issue of memo, demotion, stopping increments, etc. So negative motivation, like many corporates work only weekdays, that is Monday to Friday, but when the work is being assigned more, and if there is a lot of work pending, so the organization managers ask the lower level of the staff to work on Saturdays and Sundays also. This brings the lower level of employees dissatisfied, and they are being forced to work. So when they are not working, they are being threatened to work, they are being issued a memo. Issue of memo means basically one letter, one application is being reached to the lower level of management, that is the ultimate staff, regarding that to complete that work on time. It is just a formal type of communication. Okay, demotion means from the current position they might put it into the lower level of the designated post, so that is called demotion. Stopping increments means like they won't get any pay allowances, bonus, medical leave and all. So that also might be stopped. So negative motivation is this one. So the next one is complex process. Complex process means difficult process. The individuals differ in their needs and wants, and moreover human needs change from time to time. So human element always, if one satisfaction is we need, another arises. So this has been a continuous process and as well as complex process. So it is very difficult to keep the human mind at one constant fixed goal. So this is a very complex process. The fifth one is continuous process. The human needs are unlimited, and so they keep on changing continuously. The satisfaction of one need gives rise to another. As soon as one need is being satisfied, another need arises. So managers have to continuously perform the function of motivation. So this continuous process and the complex process is quite similar. The human mind cannot be focused on this one type of goal only. It should be focused on one type of goal, but the human mind won't allow to. So example, when one need is being fulfilled, example, if you are not having TV in your house, you purchase a TV. Now after that employees purchase the TV, again he thinks to purchase a set-top box. Again after purchasing that set-top box, again small investments will come. Again after purchasing that set-top box, stabilizer. Then again you are having some old memories too. For that you purchase a pen drive. So this and all he is investing. Oh, no, his only want was only TV. For the TV he purchased set-top box. For that set-top box again he was not satisfied with that set-top box. He purchased a dish TV. Then again he purchased a stabilizer to control the current flow. Then again he purchased the pen drive for his memories. So this and all keeps on continuous. So the manager, when in an organization limits, the manager has to continuously focus on the ultimate subordinates, ultimate staff, and have to mend their goal towards the organization goals. When the organizational goals are confronted, when organization goals are achieved, even the personal goals are accomplished. Okay, so upcoming video is on the Maslow hierarchy of needs, and then leadership and communication will be posted. Until the next videos, keep watching EE. Thank you. Have a good day.